Yeah, I'm Peter Eriksson. I'm a member of the Swedish Parliament. I was earlier spokesperson for the Swedish Greens, and now I am chairing the Committee on Constitution in the Swedish Parliament. And as some of you already know, I am not one of the biggest fans of the European Union institutions. I think some of them works really lousy. They are doing not so good from them, and in some cases we have lost important things in the European Union work. But on the other hand, I don't think there are no road of return. We have gained some things, and one important thing is that we have gained that the barriers between countries have gone down between the European countries, and that is really important. And I think that renationalization is really will be a disaster in this matter. And around the economy, it should be really bad if people started to think that we can do this much better if we are alone instead of if we do it together and have common rules in the common market. So there is a big possibility for Europe to get step forwards when we do things together, and there is no return back. So we just have to do the best of it, I think, and see the good things of not having to fight each other, but do it together in a common market and a common economy, and that's why we don't want to have common armies, because that will be also a road back to something we think should be in the past.
Thank you very much. Yes, Lily.
Shannon's England and Wales Green Party. I feel that the idea of the Greens initiating the writing of a European constitution would be fantastic for us to be proactive and offer the European Union a positive, outward-looking, generous constitution, which is about the world, not just about Europe doing well, but about the world doing well, and about Europe leading in a generous and innovative, creative, imaginative project, which is what we're capable of. And it's not about, do we go back to being individual nations or all get more closely together. It's about working together for a better whole world and supporting each other generously and creatively. So yes, we can use the euro, but also we can use individual currencies in local places, like the transition movement is doing in Bristol, Brixton, and lots of other places, using local economies as well as working at a European level. And it's all about appropriate working at the European or world level for the appropriate things, but at a local level for those appropriate things. And I think the Greens could write a fantastic constitution on that kind of basis.
Thank you very much. Just so we take these 3 points, and then just to know what we're saying. Yes, Max, you the floor. So we had Europe as a sort of dream. So we are certainly pro-European, but not everybody are the same in the pro-European family. So we need to distinguish. That was the first intervention. Pro-European, yes, Peter said, but with some prudence as to the scope of how big the capacity of intervention of the European Union is. And then we had this interesting idea coming from England and Wales, for those of us who have been being present in the European Green Party, to have somebody from England and Wales saying that we need to write a European constitution is a fantastic news, and a very good articulation of what a federal Europe is in reality, of different levels from the highest to the local level. Okay, I will have a next round of points. So Max, and then can I know? I mean, proceeding this way. So yes, you. Okay, yeah, Max.
Max Andersson, I'm the National Executive Committee of the Swedish Green Party. I would like to, well, slightly disagree with Peter. The Swedish Green Party is basically in favor of geographic concepts. We like Africa, we like Asia, we like North America, we like Arctic, and we like Europe. As a geographic concept, it's good, it's clarified. But we must remember that Europe as a cultural concept was started as a racist idea about disliking the Turks. And we don't like that. We don't like racism. We don't believe the old thing about saying, I'm European, therefore I am civilized. I'm better than Africans, I'm better than Turks, I'm better than Asians, I'm better than Northern Americans. That concept of saying Europe is better than the rest of the world, we are against. We don't like racism. We think, and I think we all agree here, that European policy of migration is shameful. We don't want Europe to be a concept of keeping other people outside. We don't want Europe as a concept to be all about austerity. And I think that some people are mixing up Europe as a concept, the modern concept of Europe, with Brussels as a state. And we are definitely pro-Europe, but not all that keen on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't know the name, so I have to...
Just for like, well, Europe is all about Brussels. I agree. It's about Brussels and some individuals, states, and states. And I think Europe has to be about people, as is written there. So I hope the Greens can present Europeans an image of Europe as a Europe of citizens, and therefore that we can present also image of Europe of a common green movement from all over Europe, not only in states. We have to lose the idea of states. We have to gather people with the same political ideas in one party, and so that we can say it's about European green. So I hope that this idea of Europe is something of states, yes it is, but it must be also something of citizens, and the citizens are not, we don't see the citizens, we don't see 500 million citizens of Europe. We see only Brussels and some individuals.
Well, when I hear this thing, if I can allow myself to say something on this point, I always remember this woman in the middle. It's a story that my friends already heard me say many times, but it really struck me. When I hear somebody say that Europe is only Brussels, I always remember this woman in the middle of the fires of waste in Naples, you know, when Camorra was really, and she was shouting, "We will go to the European Parliament with a petition to ask them to help us." So I'm not that sure that everybody considers Europe only Brussels in some way. So there are some things that are done also usefully. Yes, please.
Jutta Molte, Groen. Okay, we are pro-Europe, but we need term solidarity everything. When we speak of Europe, we speak of solidarity. Solidarity with people, solidarity with groups, solidarity with every strict. But you don't. act local, think global. Pro-Europe in one word. We need a strong Europe for a better world.
Thank you. Who's next? Here. Yeah, you.
For me, Europe, being pro-Europe means being pro-federal Europe. I think the only future of Europe is federation.
Good evening, my name is Eric Neukrantz. I live in Greece. For me, the Green Party is an environmental party, and this means everybody on this planet has to look for the environment. This means we are all together, all people on this planet have to look for the environment. I came here and I was very sad that I didn't see on any place of the problem something about the environment. We have big problems here in Greece about the environment. They want to build all around us nuclear power stations, and there is nothing said, one word on this international, because it's not only the Green European Party meeting here, it's an international meeting about the environment. So, as an environmental party, the first thing we have to think always is the environment, and as Petra Kelly says, peace on earth. So, peace with nature, peace with the people. So, wherever you are, think we are an environmental party. We don't want to have a new ideology in this world. We want to look about the environment. There is so much to do, and there is no word said here about the environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, the lady first. The lady first.
Thank you. I'm Georgia Carnescu from Romanian Green Party. Our project for Europe is one concerning more joint responsibility, and I'm coming back to environment. Yes, this is the most important issue for a Green Party. Usually in Eastern Europe, this is considered, unfortunately, to be a luxury just for rich and Western countries. We have to show the people in our region that this is also about the way we project the future. We have to show solidarity with all the countries in Europe and all the members, as it's not fair to have, for example, companies that coming from other EU countries and devastating Romania, for example. Nowadays they are supposed to cut every day 30,000 square meters of forest, and this is a process that depleted Romania from 39% forest 10 years ago to 27%. So that's why we need solidarity, and Green Party should provide more guarantees for a healthy environment. And this could bring also more support from the people that feel not protected enough by national governments. Sometimes people look to EU institutions like guarantors for democratic rights and also guarantors for environment protection. We hope to put an accent in our future EU document on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then Gerard.
I'm Bahram Zandi from US Green Party and a delegate to the Global Green Network. Being a delegate to Global Greens, I have a global perspective, and I feel that we are in a global village, and the issues, the problems and solutions should be global. like this crisis we are having in Greece is not just for Greece or Europe, it's a global capital crisis. It's a crisis of capitalism. It's everywhere around the world. And the solutions need to be global. And the Green Party is the only party that has global presence. So I think there is a bigger role for the global Greens to play here. Thank you.
Yes, Gerrit Hefner, European Parliament. I'd like to say two things. One is that I see a big danger that sometimes you are so much mingled into actual conflicts, problems, and so on, that you forget the long-term perspective. And I think for Greens, it's of incredible importance that we have real strong visions, that we are radical in our thoughts and pragmatic in the way to bring them on earth through politics. And that we don't stop thinking about these and speaking about these visions. So there's the time now, and I want to say just two things. One is, Europe certainly is on freedom, on democracy, and on solidarity. And solidarity also means ecology, solidarity with all what lives with us on our earth. And in the European Union, we put forward freedom, freedom of capital, of movement, of trade, and so on. And we pretty much forgot about solidarity, and we pretty much forgot about democracy. So I see this as two very important points for the Greens, to speak about a union of solidarity and about a union of democracy. If you allow me to say a few words more about democracy, I'm really afraid, I want to tell you that, like the meltdown of glaciers and of the polar ice, we have a meltdown of democracy. If you look what happens in the European Union, more and more decisions are not taken by the union, in the union method, by those who are elected by the citizens for taking decisions, but they are taken in non-elected bodies. It's the heads of the governments who meet, and then they say, okay, you do this, you do that, and then the parliaments of member states are forced to bring this through without any proper debate. So what we need is a Europe where we have more, not less debate, more, not less democracy. So what we need is to work on a transnational European democracy, which is more than just an addition of democracy in member states plus the European Parliament. And that's why I'm pretty much fond of this idea of working on real ideas for a European constitution. If you do not come to a real constitution that says what is the citizens saying, the citizen sovereignty in Europe, then my fear is that more Europe will make citizens afraid, because their fear is that more Europe means they have less say on issues. So think about what will happen if the European Union decides on the budgets of member states, where a parliament decided, for example, to put more money into education or jobs, and the European Commissioner said you're not allowed to do that. What shall happen then? So we have to democratize this and not think only about bodies, about presidents. We have to think about more democratic structures. And one thing that would be of incredible importance for that would be a European convention that is democratic, that integrates parliamentarians from the EU, from national parliaments, with Commission and national governments, and that has enough time to discuss these issues, because the last convention didn't have enough time, and we should go for that and not always ask if all the other political families back that too. They have their own issues, they have their own fears that they are afraid of. But we should not have that. We should go for a Europe of more democracy and more solidarity, and for a strong European, democratic European convention.
Yeah, I have a gentleman there. No, there was somebody here first, there. And then Sarah.
Yahya Sangaja from Liberty, Switzerland. Again, it has been said that the Green Party is an environmental party. I agree. But we have also other problems which have perhaps less to do with environment. So to bring in also the other people so that they vote for us, we have to show them that we are also open. It is not just environment, but also other subjects, other topics which we can deal and we can give solutions.
Sarah?
Hello, Sarah Sotman from Belgium. When we're talking about the future of Europe, one of the main problems I think we're going to have is we're a pro-European party, of course, but people now find Europe to be kind of a dirty word. They don't have a positive link to it. They think about austerity, they think about a crisis, they think about social deficit, they think about the loss of sovereignty. All these things that, of course, we as Greens do not support. So we need to make sure and think about how are we going to get our message across that we still believe that a different kind of Europe is possible, that we believe that with the Greens and, of course, with other political parties as well, if they follow our train of thought, is that we can have a social Europe, that we can have an ecological Europe, that we can have a solidary Europe. This is the only way that we can move forward. So I think it's going to be a difficult task for us to have this nuance and still be critical, as we always have been on the road that the EU is taking. But we need to make sure that we conquer the hearts and minds of European citizens and show them that there's a lot of good to be gotten from this project. So we have a lot of work to do for our election campaign, of course. But I think if there's any political party or political family that can do this, then it's us the Greens.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, sorry, Tanya.
Thank you. Actually, I think there have been really nice speeches about the future of Europe. Actually, I wanted to go more to a concrete level, but before actually Gerald Hefner's speech inspired me to say that I really think that we need more democratization, but I think we also need some kind of new democracy, radical measures to really show the citizens that we really mean business with this democracy stuff, and not only through the parliament, which is of course really important, but also something to wake up the people so that they would really understand that it's also their responsibility to act and to be solidary with each other and to understand each other from Finland to Greece. And the other thing I wanted to say was that I think that it would be really great if in our campaign we could create images of the EU of citizens as opposed to the EU of Brussels or so, to have this imagery that we could use so that it would also be visible what we mean by this. And I don't think that we will win a lot of votes if we start to talk about the words federalism or pro-European or so on, but I think we rather have to show what these things mean, so that also those people who are not really interested in institutions or high levels of decision making, that they really know what this would mean in their everyday lives.
Sorry. Because actually these two are first, because I don't know your names. I'm so sorry, so I cannot write down the list.
I am Maishvili from Azerbaijan. And we are seeing the European Union from inside, but we are seeing the European Union from outside. That's why we are interested in to see European Union as an example for our future. You are interested in stronger European Union for your future. That's why it is very, at the time, for us very interesting to know the business of European Union from border countries, especially from Eastern countries, from former Soviet Union countries. Because last 20 years, about European Union changed the opinion of population of former Soviet Union population. Because 20 years ago, about even 10 years ago, we thought the European Union as an example, as a project of peace. But at the moment, many people see the European Union as aggressor. Aggressor by economical projects, by transnational companies, by financial institutions. That's why at the moment you have responsibility for undemocratic situation in Azerbaijan, in Georgia, in Armenia, etc., etc. That's why we hope in the future, as Green Party, we will try to change situation in European family, to change sense of European Union project. With this project as peace, project as development, project as democracy. And we need to have support from your side. Unfortunately, we don't see any support for democratization. By the contrary, European Union organizations every time support corrupted regimes in these countries, especially in Azerbaijan, and you don't support resolution of present conflicts in Caucasus. By the contrary, please you to support resolution. Please support peaceful attempts in the future. Thank you.
Yes, and then, okay, I have still, so this gentleman over there, then I have you, and Terry, and then we finish. Okay, I can have you there, but really very short because we have to stop the session. And don't worry, we will take it back. And I will ask you to be really short because we are really just to have a sort of brainstorming together and not long speeches. Go ahead.
Θα μιλήσω στα ελληνικά. Το όνομά μου είναι Γιώργος Τιμαράς, από τους Έλληνες οικολόγους πράσινους, επιμέρους περιφερειακός σύμβουλος στην περιφέρεια Αττικής που περιλαμβάνει την Αθήνα. Το θέμα μας είναι η Ευρώπη. Δεν πρέπει να ξεχνάμε ότι στο κέντρο της οικολογικής πολιτικής είναι η επιβίωση, η βιωσιμότητα. Και στο πλανήτη, και στην οικονομία και στην κοινωνία. Θέλουμε τον άνθρωπο σε ένα βιώσιμο κόσμο που να ζει αρμονικά με τον πλανήτη, αλλά για να περάσουμε αυτό στους πολίτες πρέπει να ασχοληθούμε ιδιαίτερα με τα ζητήματα της κοινωνικής δικαιοσύνης. Σίγουρα τα προβλήματα είναι παγκόσμια και οι οικολόγοι χρειαζόμαστε παγκόσμια οργάνωση, αλλά και επιμέρους οργανώσεις σε διάφορες περιοχές όπως η Ευρώπη, η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση. Επομένως, η πορεία, η συνεργασία στο επίπεδο Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης πρέπει να προχωρήσει. Πρέπει όμως να δούμε τις αρνητικές πλευρές όσον αφορά την πολιτική μας